Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Audit Guidebook channel. So glad you could join us again. All right, let's open up our audit notebook for this one. And trust me, this is a biggie. It doesn't matter if you're a student just diving into this world, a brand new auditor, or even a seasoned pro, this is something you absolutely need to know about. So, what are we getting into today? We are talking about a huge topic, the new Global Internal Audit Standards. And let me be clear, this isn't just some small update. We're talking about a major overhaul, a complete upgrade that's going to change the game for the entire profession. So yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so where do we even begin? Let's start with the basics. First, what exactly is different about these new standards? And maybe even more important, why did they need to change in the first place? What's the story here? Okay, first things first, the official name. We're talking about the Global Internal Audit Standards, or as you'll hear it called, GIAS. And the key thing to remember here is that this is now one single unified framework. It takes everything from the old 2017 version and brings it all together. It's a really big deal. Now, this is super important. Let's talk timing. The new standards dropped on January 9th, 2024. But, and this is the key part, they gave everyone a full year to get up to speed. So that means the clock is ticking, right? Come January 9th, 2025, these new standards are the law of the land. They're fully in effect. All right, let's pop the hood and see how this thing is actually built. You know, a huge goal with this whole update was to make things simpler, more consolidated. And honestly, they totally nailed it. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, this slide says it all, really. Look at the left. That's the old 2017 way. It was a bunch of separate pieces. You had the mission, the code of ethics, the standards, all kind of floating around. It worked, but it wasn't exactly streamlined. Now, look at the right. That's the new world. One single body. Everything is neatly organized into 5 domains, 15 principles, and about 52 standards. So much cleaner, right? So, what are these 5 domains? Let's break them down. We've got purpose, ethics, governing, managing, and performing. Now, for all you veterans out there who remember the old standards, you'll spot this immediately. The old split between attribute and performance standards? Gone. They've replaced it with this much more logical, intuitive flow. It just makes more sense. But again, you have to ask why. Why go through all this trouble? Well, the truth is, these changes weren't just made for fun. They're a direct answer to the crazy, complicated, fast-changing world we all live and work in now. The risk landscape is just different. I mean, just look at this list. We're talking about massive technological disruption, constant cyber threats, regulations that get more complex by the day, globalization, and of course, the huge pressure around sustainability and ESG. The world today is just not the same as it was back in 2017. The profession's rulebook had to evolve to keep up. It had no choice. And that leads to one of the coolest and, I think, most important new features, something called topical requirements. Think of it like this. It's a way for the standards to stay fresh and current. It's a mandatory part of the framework that lets them quickly address big new risks as they pop up, things like cybersecurity or maybe AI down the line. It ensures that internal audit is always focused on the latest and greatest threats. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now for the really important part, the so what. What does this actually mean for you, for me, for anyone doing the job day in and day out? How does it change things on the ground? It all starts right here with the purpose of internal audit itself. And this new definition, wow, it's a big deal. The key words are everything. We're not just about assurance anymore. Look at that language. Create, protect, and sustain value. And how do we do that? Not just with advice, but with insight. And this is my favorite part, foresight. It's like we're finally shifting from just looking in the rearview mirror at what already happened to looking out the front windshield at what's coming down the road. And this chart really breaks down those practical shifts. Governance? It's way stronger now, a clear requirement. Strategy and performance measurement? Not just a nice to have anymore, they're mandatory. And the language itself has gotten tougher. We're seeing a lot less of the soft stuff like should or consider, and a lot more hard requirements like must. Make no mistake, the bar has definitely been raised. Okay, let's zoom out and put a bow on this. When you boil it all down, why does this massive upgrade matter so much? What's the real impact on us, on the profession, and on the companies we work for? Well, here it is, the 3 big takeaways. First, for every internal audit team out there, the message is clear. The standard for quality is just higher now. Second, for the organizations we serve, this change elevates us. We're not just a compliance checkbox anymore. We're a real strategic partner. And third, for the profession itself, this whole upgrade is about one thing: staying relevant and valuable in a world that never stops changing. So, that brings us to the final, and maybe the most important question. I really want you to think about this one. That January 2025 deadline is coming up fast, so you have to ask yourself, is my audit function, are we, really ready for this? And that's a wrap on this entry in our audit notebook. Thank you so much for sticking with us through all of that. Hey, if you got some value out of this breakdown, do us a huge favor and hit that like button, and be sure to subscribe to the Audit Guidebook channel so you don't miss what's coming next. We'll catch you on the next one.